Hello and welcome back to another episode of UpGrade with Maria Kay, the podcast where your success, freedom and happiness get a boost. And today I want to encourage you to play. Not only in your daily life by hanging around with children or maybe stopping off at the playground, having a bit of a swing, maybe partaking in activities that you used to love as a child. Not only those types of things, but today I want to encourage you to play with the universe. Now, usually the first thing we do when we decide to upgrade our life on a conscious level is to identify what we want. And then once we've identified what we want, we then design a strategy, make a plan to create, attract, bring in, and move towards that thing or that way of life or that person or that job that we're desiring. And that's needed. I wouldn't recommend to do it any other way because we need to get specific. We need to know what we want in order to begin to focus on it. However, very often we can get caught up in what I call adult-like behavior, right? Which is taking things a little bit too seriously, perhaps becoming out of sync, out of balance between actioning and powerfully manifesting. So today's reminder is, well, I'll rephrase. I'm going to pose some questions first. Are you manifesting what you are desiring? If not, are you maybe out of kilter? Are you maybe taking things a little bit too seriously? Or perhaps you may have shifted a little bit in your beliefs around your capabilities to co-create powerfully, intentionally with the universe. I've recently been touring around Europe for 2 solid months and meeting people in person, giving talks, workshops, networking, and really pushing myself to make the most of being this side of the world. I spend most of my time in Goa, usually in India, and the pace of life is slower, which I love. But having been in Europe for a couple of months now, I have been really in on the move mode, spending sometimes less than a few days in each place, which has been phenomenal. I've met some gorgeous people, made some really sacred, powerful, conscious connections, but it has taken a little bit of its toll on my well-being, on my body. It's worn me out a little bit, which has meant that my sort of tone, my energy, my vibration has shifted from vibrating quite high and light and playful and go with the flow to being a little bit more serious when you're trying to put together a schedule, even with the help of your assistant, and keep on top of your flights and your dates and your speaking engagements and everything. It's a lot. But the great thing of the past month has been that I've been able to spend extra time with my nephews. And whenever I do, they give me kind of a little nudge in the ribs and they remind Auntie Maria to play, lighten up and not take things so seriously. So I've been to the playground, climbing to the top of the big climbing frame. I've been swinging, playing in sand, having water fights, playing at the beach, eating vegan ice cream, of course. Lots of lovely, light-hearted activities in and amongst those sort of very specific work-related meetings and engagements. The universe responds really well to happy. It responds really well to lightheartedness. It responds really well to unattachment. It also responds really well to your communication, to your demands. And often when we are on this journey, we forget that we are not doing this alone. We forget that we are co-creating with a source, a power, a being, whatever you want to call it, that's bigger than us, that's actually rooting for us more than anyone else on this planet, more than yourself even. So then we tend to overwork ourselves, we tend to take on way too much responsibility, and then we become stuck. manifesting less and less, moving forward slower and slower, and becoming more and more unhappy and frustrated. So the first thing is to see where in your life you can infuse a little bit more play and lightheartedness. It could be that you clear a few hours in your diary and decide to do something that really, really does lift your spirits, that gets you sort of out of that serious mind and into a space of openness, high vibration, and almost kind of not really minding what happens, being a kind of a little bit more blasé about things. Unattachment, in other words. Being happy no matter what. I was recently at a work function. It was a networking meeting with some talks. It looked like a mini conference, and there was a company there who was sponsoring the event, who were putting on a prize draw. The prize was an amazing spa day with massage and refreshments and gorgeous juices, and everyone in the room was filling out these entry forms, apart from me. I had my serious work head on. I wasn't thinking about pleasure or play or relaxation, and came to the moment before the draw was going to be drawn, and suddenly I found an entry form and a pen in my hand out of nowhere, and I found myself scribbling, filling this entry form in. And before I knew it, my form was also in the bag of other entry forms. I hadn't planned it. I was totally unattached to it. But I thought to myself, seeing as it's happening, why not do what I can? So I had a word with the universe. And I said, hey, I'd love to win that. Show me what you've got. And lo and behold, within seconds, my name was being called out. That is a prime example of an instant manifestation. I was unattached. I was communicating with the universe. And I was in a state of openness and surrender, which equals receiving mode. Now, that is the state that we want to be in when we are on this journey. Openness, surrender, and receiving mode, which can often sort of fall to the wayside when we're in this hard go serious action mode. So I'm reminding you today to lighten up, start to incorporate a little bit of play into your daily life, and then start to practice manifesting with the smaller things, those unimportant things, the things that we're taught in the early phases of the law of attraction, which are the green lights, the parking spaces, the free cups of coffee, the free cookies. The things that aren't going to make a huge amount of difference to our life, but will manage to bridge the gap between our disbelief and our belief around how powerful a manifestor we actually are. And once this is done in a playful manner, and you start to receive those positive messages from the universe that it is paying attention to you, that it is willing to give you what you want, if only you can open up those channels for receiving, then you can move on to the bigger things, the things that are on perhaps your ascension plan or your upgrade plan or your sort of 12-month goals. You'll start to feel absolutely accomplished. You'll start to feel as though this can be fun, that it doesn't have to be all serious, negative, heavy work and action. I would love to hear about your mini, fun, playful manifestations. So if you go over to the Facebook group, Upgrade with Maria Kay, or you can even contact me via the website under the same name and let me know. Share with me pictures, share with me updates, and have an absolute blast playing with the universe this next week or so. Until next time, Maria Kay.